Welcome back to News Talk for this half hour. Patient advocate extraordinaire, Dr. Stephen Kussin, is joining me today. And if you've got questions, 793-WKTV is the number to call. But we're going to start out talking about something you wouldn't think would be medically related, which is the lottery, or the Powerball.
Yeah, well, everybody knows about the Powerball lottery this week. But not as many people know about the medical lottery that tens of millions of women do every year. And that's called the mammogram. Now, the mammogram, if you understand the lottery, you can understand a lot about mammograms. I think everybody who gets in line for the Powerball lottery and buys a ticket, they hope they're going to win. They don't think they're going to. But in the mammogram lottery, I think almost every woman who gets in that line and buys a mammogram thinks she's already a winner because she got the mammogram. And that's not the case. It's not the case because the vast majority of women are never ever destined to even get breast cancer. And even if you get mammograms every year, tens of thousands of women still get the diagnosis and thousands die. It's not a perfect test. So what are the odds? There are odds in Powerball, there are odds in mammogram. 1 to 2,000 women have to get a mammogram every single year for 10 years to save one preventable death. That's the Powerball winner.
And we're talking here about cancers that are not necessarily life-threatening cancers that people are getting, that they're then getting treated for.
Just saying non-life-threatening cancer makes no sense to a lot of people, but it's true. You know, you don't have to play a lottery. You don't have to get a mammogram, since most women don't get breast cancer anyway. And mammograms harm people. The lottery doesn't harm women, but the mammogram can. Half get false alarms. 1/3 will end up getting biopsies they don't need that are negative. And this week, the big news in medical newspapers is that in our best and most prestigious journal, it was found that if your diagnosis of breast cancer was made by screening mammography, 1 out of 3 never had to be treated.
Wow.
And that means 1.3 million women over the last 30 years never needed the surgery, never needed the radiation or the hormonal therapy. And they land up leading their lives now as cancer patients, and they really aren't. And their daughters land up being daughters of cancer patients, and they have even more reason to get mammograms.
In your experience and opinion, what would you say, contributes to that sense of alarm when they see anything that then sends them off into the treatments?
Well, cancer is an emotional thing. It's not as well known that not every cancer progresses. Not every cancer is going to cause a problem. Not every patient needs to know they have a cancer. Some go to sleep. Some cancers go away. This is well known in prostate cancer. PSAs are now really on a decline. 60% overdiagnosis in men, and therefore a lot of men who get a diagnosis of breast cancer, of prostate cancer, don't even have the surgery. They do active surveillance. So I think that it's true, and it shouldn't be misunderstood. Women who have mammograms, some, maybe many, have their lives saved. But it's equally true now that women who have mammograms, some, maybe many, have their lives badly interrupted because of it. So if you want to get a mammogram, you should know about the risks, because there are risks and there are benefits. And it's up to each individual woman to talk to her physician and decide where she comes down on that.
And is the key to this research, is it just researching before you make any of these decisions?
I think that these kind of things, you'd like to rely on your doctors. You should rely on them, and many doctors are up to the chore. But there's so little time in so many office settings, and a lot of doctors aren't aware of the numbers. And so I think that it's not hard to find the information and how to find your particular risk. If a woman has a high risk of breast cancer, that makes the odds better that she'll benefit from a mammogram. And there are places to go on the internet where a woman can learn about her risk of breast cancer.
All right. Well, we're out of time, but it's always a pleasure, Dr. Stephen Kussin. Thank you very much for stopping by today.